Recently, instead of watching a lot of movies, I've been watching TV series. My sister and I were also recently discussing what our favorite TV series are, so I wanted to talk about what I chose as my favorite drama series. I'll also only be using series that are finished, not ones that are still ongoing, so there won't be series like The Mandalorian or His Dark Materials, which are two of my favorite ongoing series. Number 5, Skins. I've binged this British teen drama multiple times, and it's always entertaining. This series has a very different format, where the setting stays the same, but the cast coming through the Bristol school changes every 2 seasons. A lot of great actors came from this series, with most having it as their starting point. The first group had Nicholas Hoult from X-Men series and About a Boy, Dev Patel from Slumdog Millionaire and Lion, and Game of Thrones stars Hannah Murray and Joe Dempsey, as well as a smaller role for Kaya Scodelario from the Maze Runner series and Pirates of the Caribbean, who later stars in the second cast, along with Jack O'Connell from Unbroken and Luke Pasqualino from Snowpiercer. The third cast stars Dakota Blue Richards from The Golden Compass, Jessica Sula from Split, Sean Teal from The Gifted, and Alexander Arnold from Yesterday. No matter the cast, the plot centers around students in their last 2 years of school in Bristol and their partying lifestyles. It may seem over the top, but the problems they face are generally exaggerated versions of real struggles that teenagers face. Number 4, True Detective Season 1. This one would probably be higher, but it seemed unfair since I'm bending my rule a bit. Each season of True Detective is its own story, with its own characters and setting, so despite True Detective still being an ongoing series, I consider Season 1 to be a fully completed series. Season 1 stars Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey as the buddy cops with extremely different personalities. Harrelson plays the likable good cop Marty Hart, and McConaughey plays the pessimistic, philosophical Rustin Cole. This role played a big part in the McConaissance that led to Matthew McConaughey being taken as a serious actor, and he really nails it in this role. The story follows the two detectives over the course of nearly 20 years as they attempt to resolve a string of murders. The whole series delves into some deep philosophical questions about whether life is worth living and the moral core of the world. Number 3, Firefly. This series never had the chance to get bad. Due to circumstances out of the creator Joss Whedon's control, the series was cancelled after just one awesome season. Through word of mouth and DVD sales, however, the series became the poster child for shows that were cancelled too early. This led to Joss Whedon getting his feature film debut with a concluding film for the series called Serenity. The series is a sci-fi western which follows the crew of the Firefly-class ship Serenity. It has a lot of great stars, such as Nathan Fillion from Castle, Gina Torres from The Matrix and Suits, Alan Tudyk from Rogue One, I, Robot, and A Knight's Tale, and Morena Baccarin from Deadpool, and many more. Even Zac Efron has a brief appearance. This series' best qualities come from how the characters are portrayed and written. The cast all seem to have great chemistry, and we're all clearly very passionate about this series, as they continue to make appearances on panels and at conventions for the show 17 years later. Number 2, Game of Thrones. The later seasons may have dipped in quality, but at the time were still the best, most exciting television that was airing. I know a lot of people didn't like how it ended, and I have my issues with the final season too, but I still think overall it's a great show. George R. R. Martin's source material made for a perfect series to translate to television. It's too bad we didn't get to see his completed version, but what we got is still excellent. The entire series was a showcase for amazing talents in acting, directing, visual effects, production design. Everything is really just done at a higher degree. The level of quality is equal to that of a big budget film production, but on TV. I would still recommend that everyone watch this series just to see the spectacle of it all. Number 1, Smallville. It had to be Smallville. I've already talked at great length about my love for Superman in a previous post, and a lot of that stems from watching this series. A lot of superhero TV series of today could learn a lot from Smallville. The visual effects in a lot of cases are actually far better than what we got in shows like Supergirl or The Flash. But what really sets Smallville apart is its focus on characters and their relationships to each other. Tom Welling was pretty amateurish early on, but after a couple of seasons really came into his own. But the real star is Michael Rosenbaum as Lex Luthor. He stole every scene he was in, and to this day is, in my opinion, the greatest portrayal of Lex Luthor ever. The thing that first got me hooked on Smallville was actually the filming location. The pilot was filmed in my hometown, and the entire series was filmed in British Columbia. I often seen familiar locations, and for the first 5 seasons I got to watch a meteor fall through a local bar in the opening credits, which was always fun. I have to give some honorable mentions, first to Freaks and Geeks, which I couldn't decide on whether to consider it as a drama or a comedy, but it is a great show. Second to The Queen's Gambit, which I just finished, but it being a limited series made it seem like it was something different from the rest of these series and should be judged differently. But just as fantastic as anything here. Lastly, to The OC, which I do really like and have fond memories of, but it just doesn't make the cut over Skins. What did you think of my list? Have you watched any of these or all of these series? If not, you have some new suggestions. What would you have on your list? Let me know. Thanks for watching.